Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. And let's just say the boys are back in town.
She got away, know what I say? She can't choke, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up, get the ammo and I stick it up. I ride shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes?
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and Tony is in
What's
town.
up,
What's going on, Tony?
Yeah, hanging out there. It's Monday, recuperating.
Yeah, kind of leaving the weekend on the weekend.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We'll worry about that next weekend.
Past the past, dude.
And always, our super producer, Mike. What's going on, man?
What do you have to say?
Hello world.
Different spin on it today.
Yeah, right.
And
love the enthusiasm.
Via FaceTime, we have Gino Knows and Grossi.
What's up?
Who knows?
Guys.
How you doing, fellas?
Life is good. Life is very good.
I
It's
guess you
giving
could
your
say-
team wins in the playoffs.
I guess you could say virtually, but it's still the same. The boys are back in town, kind of. I mean, we got like a packed house today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, all these screens.
But
There's so much going on.
So many
You know,
screens.
of course, over the weekend, we had the playoffs starting. So we'll start in the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
So, quite the weekend in basketball, some exciting games. And we'll start with really probably the most exciting one of the weekend. We had the Hawks and the Knicks, game one at the Garden. I mean, it was rocking, 15,000 on their feet the whole game. But unfortunately for them, it's a 107-105 win for the Hawks. And Trey Young with the game-winning floater with 0.8 seconds left. He had a great game, 32 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. And just really, really a tough one to take. I mean, the Knicks were there the whole game. And I think the biggest thing that they were missing is obviously, what Julius Randle has brought all season. He struggled 6 of 23 from the floor. Obviously, great contributions from Burks, 27 points, and D-Rose, looked like MVP D-Rose. He was all over the court. He played 38 minutes off the bench, so really got some solid playing time. But obviously, this one stings, and I'll go to you, Mike. On this.
Well, I'm going to just say, it was a great game by both teams. Trey Young came to play. Grosso, we've always kind of been on the other side of him, but we've always kind of known he could do it. He could be great. Julius Randle is not going to shoot like that again. If he shot maybe 3 more buckets, it made him 3 more buckets, we'd have a win. So I'm not worried. I was actually really impressed with Taj Gibson. Not going to lie. I thought he came up with offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound, time in and time out. And I'm not worried. I'm actually really excited. I think this first loss like this is better than, getting a win, maybe going 2-0 and then kind of feeling a slippery slope and losing their momentum, I would say, like their resilience. So I'm not worried at all. I'm actually so excited. It was so cool to see all the fans, dude. It was just like amazing. And I'm just so excited for the next game. And like I said, we weren't even supposed to be here. So I'm just happy that we're here and playing, but I'm not worried. We're going to get the next one.
What do you guys think?
Grossi, you want to go first? You want me to take it?
Yeah, I'll go. I think, the big key to this game, Trey Young versus Julius Randle, if you kind of look at the two stars, and Julius Randle just seemed to be rushing everything. Like he was just so hyped in the playoffs and just kind of played out of control a little bit, which is pretty normal for a guy's first playoff game when he's, the face of the franchise at this point. Trey Young started out, I think, that way, but by the time the second half was here, Trey Young was playing at his own pace, pretty much doing anything he wanted. Trey Young played pretty amazing last night, and I think that was the difference. Looking at these two rosters, I think there's more offensive weapons on Atlanta. The Knicks, they have a hard time scoring if Randall's not, if he's not hitting it. What's up, Mike?
Real quick, and also, can we all agree that Elfrid Payton needs to get on the end of the bench for the playoffs? Start either quickly if you don't want Rose to start, because quickly looks way more comfortable and way more better than Elfrid Payton. Like, I'm confused when Elfrid Payton's on the court and he comes in and then you just take him out and he doesn't play the rest of the game.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It makes no sense.
The offense starts off so slow with him. It's like
you're putting yourself in a hole. And
it's
like if Rose is going to play almost 40 minutes. What's the difference?
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be on the second
put quickly in the start, and then keep Derrick Rose in the rest of the game. Alfred did all right for the season, but now it's over.
Oh man. What else did you think, Kier Grasso?
I was questioning a lot of the decisions that Tibbs was making as a coach for this team. Like we were talking about in the group chat, like why weren't they doubling Trey Young, especially in the fourth quarter, like right when he crossed half court?
Oh, I can finish that thought if you want. We were talking about in the group chat. Right when he crossed, right when Trey crosses half court, you would think that they would double him. That's what every team has been doing so far, is like with Steph and with some of the other players. But they didn't do that, and it ended up costing them in the end. Here's Grasso. Grasso, do you want to finish your thoughts? We lost you there for a little bit.
Well, my Wi-Fi sucks, so I'll just put that out there.
You're back.
Why was Frank Ntilikina on the court guarding Trey Young in the last play?
1 minute.
Game.
I know, dude.
Trust me, I've ever seen.
It's because they that's the reason why they drafted him. So they're like, here we go, buddy. This is what you're here for. 1 minute of defense.
That was awful. They should have
it was just awful too, because he went right. He had Trey, and all he had to do was take a step to his left and cut him off, because Taj was doubling on his right. So he would have had him. He would have contained him, but instead he stepped to his right and let Trey go right, and that was the end of him. It didn't make sense. That the defense on the stretch didn't make sense to me.
And it was just poor execution on that last shot too. That was a horrible play. Yeah. Horrible throw. Julius couldn't even catch it. I don't know. I thought they were going to go to Burks there.
Yeah, the way he'd been playing.
I would have. They ran the whole offense through him. I mean,
and then I was listening to some of the comments after the game, and a few times Thibodeau was saying, they're just going to watch the tape back. Kind of didn't really say much more than that. So I think they're going to make these adjustments, and you know what I mean. There's no way Trey could have game two.
No.
Yeah, so a couple of things also on that. I mean, Tibbs, so apparently Tibbs has these detailed scouting reports that he gives them. But now for the playoffs, they're these thick books. So Tibbs has everything you need to know on these guys. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. In terms of the fans, I was outside. I didn't actually get inside for the game, but I was outside before the game. And I mean, there's nothing like Knicks fans for a playoff basketball. I mean, it is crazy. Even just hearing it on the TV. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I was getting hyped up every time the Knicks did something good. It's just you hear that roar, and it's damn, man. And we haven't heard that in a year, and it's so nice to hear. In terms of the Knicks play, obviously not great from Randle, but they had the momentum, and I think I was just a little surprised that they didn't pull it out in the end.
Yeah, I'm not worried though. Like I said, and Julius Randle even said I have to be better, and I will be better, and that's it. That's all he said. So that man's gonna come out hungry and hurting them. Watch.
Yeah, I mean he had opportunities too. I mean he just wasn't on yesterday. He'll get those opportunities.
He looked like Randle from last year, Grasso, right? That's how playing.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure, but this might be his worst shooting game of the whole season.
Oh yeah, it was.
Probably.
It was.
Yeah.
It was 100%. 100% was.
So I think that's just going to be an outlier, and he'll bounce back fine. But really, the crowd, I think, we always knew a crowd added to a game, but I think just the year off is even everyone realizes it even more.
That was the most capacity for an NBA game since the closing.
Yeah, since the closing.
Yeah, so pretty dope.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Because it's funny though, because I feel like a lot of people before COVID kind of thought, fans, but at the end of the day, like the players are playing, but it really does change.
Dude, it changes everything.
It's crazy. It really is.
It is.
I mean, but think about how you get hyped, like when you're watching a game. Think about how they feel. Like when you're watching a game and you hear that roar, think about how they feel on the court. Like it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, there was this, I even saw Mike Greenberg was there last night, I think, with his son.
Yeah, he was.
The stars were out. Tracy Morgan, Spike Lee. It felt very normal. It felt very, very pre-pandemic. It was awesome.
So we'll look forward to Game 2 Wednesday, 7:30 on TNT. You pumped for it, Tony?
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm going to have a big party. We're going to watch together at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
They'll be able to bounce back here. I mean, I know Mike's kind of broken it down.
Honestly, dude, no, I'm not that confident at all.
Really?
Bro. And it's pretty funny because last week I was talking to Mike about it. What I learned last week is that song that Mike plays like every day about the New York Knicks, the Go New York Go song. The guy who wrote it owns the Hawks, right? No, am I wrong?
Yes. So what does that have to do with anything?
Dude, have you ever heard of an omen before? You're done, dude.
No, we're not.
It's set up for failure, bro.
Dude, they were singing that yesterday before the people went to the game. They just kept chanting, "Go New York, go New York, go."
Idiots. You guys are idiots.
Not really.
But
because he made it as a
and
Knick.
honestly, dude, I would be pretty pissed if I get you're excited that the Knicks are in the playoffs and everything, but they should have won that game last night.
I'm not like
I'd
you.
be pretty
I'm not a
pissed.
Mets fan. I'm used to winning as a Yankee fan. So
What does that even have to do with anything?
because I know how to handle
Where are you going
losses.
right now?
I know. Let me go there.
All right, so let's see it.
I know how to.
Now I'm curious.
I know how to handle losses because I've experienced winning so much in my life that this is not a problem for me. I know for you, when you experience a loss, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world for you. But
That
for
makes
me,
no
it's
sense
just
at
the
all,
beginning, baby.
If
How do you
anything-
shoot? How do you
anything-
shoot a bow and arrow? You got to pull it back.
That's so stupid. And if anything, I would be cool with losing because I'm used to losing.
No, that's just because you're a Met fan, though.
What are you talking? What? Yes. Okay, that's a fact. Yeah, I'm a Mets
All right,
fan.
going on to the Grizzlies.
Honestly, dude, just move on.
So
Move on.
Grizzlies 112-109, the 8-1 upset. I mean, obviously, Donovan Mitchell did not play here, but still, everyone was expecting the Jazz to win this one. Dylan Brooks, another big game, 31.7 rebounds. And Jazz,
Grasso's boy.
in his first career playoff game, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Valanciunas, we've talked about him all year, another solid 15 and 12. And this one got close at the end, but going into the fourth, the Grizzlies were up by 10, so they were kind of in control. The Jazz, like we said, without Mitchell, they leaned on Bogdanovich. He had 29 points.
Wow, nice.
Conley, 22 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, and the $200 million man, 11 points, 15 rebounds, but it just wasn't enough. And we'll go around the room here, but just everyone in general. Do you think, this game, even without Mitchell, that it means something that the Jazz might be in trouble here?
This real quick, you guys go after this. Tell me if this doesn't remind you of Dallas Golden State.
100%.
Right? 08, 07 or whatever it was. Golden State, Dallas won 8.
Mm-hmm.
Baron Davis, Ja Morant. It's funny. No, I'm just saying. I'm saying that.
Why would you bring that up, dude?
Oh, I forgot.
I was just going to add, was it Jay Rich too? Or
yeah,
no?
Jay Rich, Steven
Rich
Jackson.
Was so sick.
Oh, dude, Al Harrington was on that team.
Oh my God.
But it reminds me of that team, honestly.
Yeah.
But, what do you, or Grasso, Gino, whoever?
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that team because this Grizzlies team, they just play so physical and tough. Like they go after every loose ball. There's just like I've been high on Dylan Brooks all year, and he just kind of dominated last night, both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And the Jazz, I mean, without Donovan Mitchell, they look like a borderline 8 seed. Like they probably would have been playing in the play-in tournament if they didn't have Donovan Mitchell. So it's kind of like a fake 1 seed until he comes back. So, I mean, this series is kind of up in the air. Whoever wants it more is going to get it. I just don't trust Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic leading the team to a playoff series win.
Yeah, I mean, with that Grizzlies team, like you said, Grasso, I mean, that's kind of been their staple for years, right? Just hard-nosed defense, like really going after balls, playing really hard. Dillon Brooks, the thing is, I think even when Mitchell comes back, I think Dillon Brooks is going to, do a pretty good job on him and maybe even lock him up a little bit. So, this is going to be kind of what you're seeing from the Jazz, I think. I think they're going to need to get points from Bogdanovich, Conley, and players like that. And even with that, they didn't manage to win the game. So I think that it's an interesting series. I don't think you can count the Grizzlies out. I think the one thing is they have a lot of young talent and they have a lot of guys who have there's no fear. There's nothing that they can't lose. There's nothing to lose in this. If they lose this series, they were expected to lose this series. But you got guys who are playing in their first playoffs, guys who there's no pressure. If they get to Steve in Game 7, that would be considered a success. So I think this is going to be a really interesting series. I thought so before this one started, but even with it's really going to depend on what Donovan Mitchell can do when he gets back to see if this Jazz team can get anything out of this.
And is he going to be who he was before he got injured? Like, we know this. We know the story. Yeah, like we know how it is. He's not going to be. So if I'm a Utah Jazz fan, I'm a little nervous.
Honestly, I know it's crazy, but I think the Grizzlies are going to win in 5 or 6. Honestly,
yeah.
I just think the Jazz aren't ready for this.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you're probably not getting 31 from Dillon Brooks every night, but you're going to get good performances from the players. You probably get some more. Jaren Jackson only had 7 points. You're probably going to get more from him. So, it'll all even itself out. I think that the Grizzlies have an upper hand in this one.
Because they have nothing to lose, too. That's the other thing. They're with most money.
Yeah, there's no pressure on them.
Yeah, none. They could just go be young hoopers.
And the Grizzlies won the battle in the paint last night, too. Like, if Rudy Gobert, we talk about the $200 million man over there, you have to outplay Jonas Valanciunas.
Well, that's what I think, too. I think Valanciunas is the perfect matchup for Gobert. I think it's perfect for him. So I think that they just kind of neutralize Gobert right off the bat there. And then Dillon Brooks kind of, I think, will probably not neutralize, but hold Mitchell within, a certain amount of points. And then it's going to matter on the role players. And I think that, the Ja Morants of the world and the Grizzlies have just better role players.
I agree. Yeah.
And we've seen Valanciunas. I mean, he's had these huge games all season, and I think
dude,
he wants to prove himself here in the playoffs.
I think if you go back to all of our sports NBA section, you'll just hear another one from Valanciunas.
20 and 20 times. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, no, seriously.
So we'll have Game 2 Wednesday, 10 o'clock TNT, and I think this is really a must-win for the Jazz. I mean, you can't go back to Memphis down 2-0.
No. Because if they split there 3-1 going back to Utah, it's tough.
So another game from yesterday, we had the Suns, Lakers, and the Suns come out on top 99-90, led by Devin Booker, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists.
And Ayton
had another huge game, 21 points, 16 boards, his first playoff game. And then Chris Paul had a scary collision with LeBron.
Yeah.
There was a little scuffle after.
Yeah.
Like people were getting tight. I saw Harold getting up.
Yeah.
And, he only had 7.8 assists, but he did return. But,
Willis
have
Reed.
to see, if next game, if there's any problems, from that. But really,
he just can't catch a break, can he?
No, I know.
They out-rebounded the Lakers by 14, and Lakers just didn't shoot it well, 7-26 from three-point range. LeBron was their leading scorer at 18 points. I mean, that's just not going to get it done, against a Suns team that's pretty good on offense. So it was just a poor, first game for the Lakers here, only 60% from the free throw line. Yeah. If they had made all their attempts, they would have actually won this game. They didn't even have that many. I think it was
like 12 or something.
12, something like that. Mm-hmm. So, you hate to see it, of course, starting like this, game 1 for the Lakers. But I think, this is going to be a tough series both ways.
Yeah.
And, looking forward to game 2 tomorrow, 10 o'clock on TNT. But, I'll start with you first. Grasso, what was your thoughts on this one?
Well, I think the first thing I noticed was that DeAndre Ayton was the best big man on the court all night. And that can't happen if the Lakers want to win this series with Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond. And honestly, that was the only thing I was really worried about with the Suns where, they rely so heavily on Booker and Ayton, who have no playoff experience. but they both came out looking confident and just looking like they've been there before. So I mean, the Suns played really well last night, and the Lakers they just struggled.
That's the Chris Paul effect.
What did you think, Gino?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you're going to getting 34 from Booker and 21 from Aiden. That's about as good as you're going to expect if Chris Paul is not going to be able to contribute as much as he normally does. I think it was a really good game from them. I mean, I knew, when you're watching that Lakers Warriors matchup in the play-in tournament, you're kind of like, do either teams really want to win this game? Because one of them's getting the Jazz and the other's getting the Suns. So obviously it was going to be, for whoever came out of that, a significantly tougher series than they would have faced if they were the 8 seed. But it's good. You're not going to get 13 points from Anthony Davis you're going to get more than that every night. You're going to get more from LeBron probably, but you also may get more from Chris Paul if he's healthy and ready to go. So I think it's going to be a really, really tight battle. Clearly both defenses came to play in this one, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, the Lakers will shoot better than 60% from the free throw line. So, I mean, you'll expect that to get better. So it is a 9-point game, so it's close.
Yeah, and one more name that people aren't really talking about that deserves some credit is Mikal Bridges, because he is tough on both sides of the ball. I think he's got like a 7'1" or 7'2" wingspan, so he was guarding LeBron most of the time. So he's making it tough for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. No, I think this really might go the distance, and I'm sure the Lakers are just going to come out with a better mindset on game 2 and really look to start on a better note than they did in this one. And I think all the games will probably be close and even tighter than this one was.
Yeah, all of them. Literally, this whole first round is going to be so tight. Yeah, except for the Brooklyn Celtics series. Yeah, and Philly, Washington. Yeah.
Well, on the West side, I think we've seen two technical upsets, like the 5 over the 4, and then the 8 over the 1, and then the Nuggets lost to the Blazers, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, already on the West side, you got 3 lower seeds leading series, so you'll expect that this is going to be, at least on the West side, a pretty tight series.
Yeah, like when I look at the West, 1 through 8, like I don't see any difference between any of these teams. They could just flip-flop any seeding they want. Like it could have ended that way. It's just they're all very even teams.
Yeah, especially with all of them being healthy.
Yeah.
And it's funny too with the West. We've always for the past 5-10 years even always said, oh, the West is so much better. And then there's some trades. Some guys go East, and the East is getting. But it just at the end of the day, it seems like the West, no matter what happens, is always a stronger conference.
Yeah.
So we will.
Like Texas and California.
What'd you say?
I said the players like Texas and California.
Oh yeah. And then the other game from yesterday, we did have the Sixers 125-118 over the Wizards. Tobias Harris, 37 points, leading the way for the Sixers. Embiid, with another big game, 30 points. And Ben Simmons, only 6 points, but did have 15 rebounds and 15 assists. And they did trail by 1 at half, so the Wizards got off to a little better start. But honestly, when I was looking at this game, I thought they would win by a lot more. So I think I give the Wizards credit for staying within 7 here. Beal, hadn't looked right. Had a big game, 33 points, 10 boards. And then how about Bertans? We had talked about him, making some big threes. He had 4 3-pointers for them. So obviously that was big. And Westbrook 16 points, 14 assists. But what was your thoughts here, Grasso, on this one?
Oh, I'm really happy to see Tobias Harris come out as aggressive as he did, and they needed him too because Embiid had to go to the bench early with some foul trouble, I know, and he came back in the second half hot, just like you would expect him. So, like when they were fully healthy on the floor, like no foul trouble, nothing. The Sixers, they were the better team here, but definitely a big shout out to Bradley Beal. I mean, he played very well, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He kind of kept him in the game. I just think the Sixers are way too good to lose to the Wizards.
Real quick too. I mean, can we get some of Bradley Beal's secret serum? Because he couldn't walk, and now he's freaking getting dead.
But you want some of Bertans too? 4 of 8 from 3.
Oh my God,
he's your guy. Dude.
No, you know what? But how impressive is Joel?
Oh yeah,
he's just
I
don't think Robin Lopez stands a chance.
You could combine Robin and Brooke, and they don't stand a chance.
No, come on.
12 from Alex Len last night. I mean, that's good, right?
Alex who?
12 from Rui. I mean, come on.
You guys think any chance the Wizards, get one here or no?
I don't think so, bud.
I don't know. I mean,
I think that's at best, and if anything, it would probably be when they're down 3-0.
I would say if Beal drops 50, but they tend to lose when he scores 50.
It's got to be like Beal dropping like 40 and Westbrook also getting into the 30s with like
and Westbrook shooting over 40% from the floor too.
Yeah, I mean it's not, the recipe is not there.
The Wizards don't play
10%
any defense.
3 maybe.
It's over.
So we'll see what happens. They're off till Wednesday, 7:00 on TNT. And then today only 2 playoff games. We have the Heat versus the Bucks. Bucks won game 1 on Saturday.
I'm excited for these 2 games.
And then we have the Blazers who upset the Nuggets
Let's go.
on Saturday as well. So they're up 1-0. And I was curious. I didn't get to talk to you about this. What was your thoughts, Mike, on Melo getting booed by the Nuggets fans?
Hold on. I'll tell you right now what my answer is. I'll tell you what my answer is right now.
Here we go.
With the 3rd pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Denver Nuggets select Carmelo Anthony.
That's fucking right, baby. And they're never going to forget it because he's going to bounce him this series right now, and he's going to laugh at all of them. Eat it up. He wanted to leave because he hated it there. It sucks in Denver, and New York City's better. Get over it.
No,
He's still going to go up in the rafters in Denver.
Hell yeah.
He probably will. But I have to say, I mean, the way he was shooting, I was impressed.
Dude, the lift he was getting, on his shot, he looked, it was 10 years ago. He's right. I'm telling you, if they stay healthy with Dame Lillard's mindset, dude, that team is just following his lead. I don't know. They're scary because people are sleeping on them.
And do you guys think these are going to be 6 and 7 game series? These 2 games, the Heat, Bucks, Blazers, Nuggets. You think these are going to be tough ones?
Yes.
Yeah, I think both these could go 7.
Yeah. So should be fun to watch them tonight. What were you going to say, Gino?
No, yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, even look at the Blazers. This wasn't a close game, really. The Blazers beat them by 14 points. So I mean, that's. I mean, that's saying a lot. And obviously, I think the big thing for the Blazers is I mean, Jokic still got 34 and 16, but nobody else really beat. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. had 25, but everybody else was, pretty quiet. So, it's going to be an interesting series for sure.
Yeah, the Nuggets desperately need Jamal Murray.
I was just about to say, is he like, what's the situation with him?
Over. I don't think he's
not coming back.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to compete with the guard play of the Blazers without Murray. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and Damian Lillard is one of those guys that's completely unfazed by any situation. Like big shot, first shot of the game, doesn't matter. He's the same player.
Yeah,
he's literally, if I'm any other team, I don't want to play Dame Lillard. That's
never,
yeah.
ever.
And I think this is another one where you can't go back to Portland down.
No way.
No way.
Absolutely not.
There's no shot that they come out of Portland not down 3-1 if they go to Portland down 2-0.
Right.
It's just, and there's still a shot that they'll come out of Portland down 3-1 at this point. So it's the Nuggets got some work to do.
Absolutely. So looking forward to it, but it's definitely been an exciting start to these playoffs for sure. And obviously we have a ways to go, and we'll keep covering it.
Jimmy Buckets leading Miami to a win tonight, though.
Yeah, definitely.
How about Chris Middleton, huh? 27 points. Jeez.
That game winner was a tough shot too.
I think Giannis wants to show the Heat what they were missing out on because he re-signed with Milwaukee instead of going there this offseason.
Barnes, are you worried that Giannis didn't take the last shot? I mean, oof.
No, because I
take the last shot.
I said this all season. I said the Bucks just have a better team than a lot of other. It's not about the best player; it's about the best team. Teams win championships.
What I will say about the Bucks, though,
What's
Drew
that?
Holiday was a huge difference maker for them, and you can see the effect, like how much better he is than Eric Bledsoe. Like it's night and day.
You know, did you see what?
Like,
Did you see what that one NBA? There was like a report that an NBA scout had said that Bledsoe was a better defender and was just a better player than Drew Holiday. I was like, seriously,
Get out of here.
I was like,
Yeah,
what?
well, that person should be fired.
Yeah, seriously.
But yes, should be some exciting games tonight. And we're going to switch gears here and talk about the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chases Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna. The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon! High, deep, and very gone!
See you later, Grasso? Or?
I'm out of here.
All right, Brody. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Later. I know Tony's pumped.
Oh,
Finally
hey, man.
baseball time,
Nice
right?
to join you on the show. So nice to be here.
So we're back at the stadium, and I mean, why not after this weekend? I mean, the Yankees sweep the weekend. Exciting game yesterday. They win 5-4. Kind of pulling one out of the Mets playbook here. A walk-off walk.
I know, dude.
Not quite the fielder's choice. And this was after two. Chapman, who hadn't given up a run, I think it was 18 appearances, finally serves one up. A pinch hit home run, but then they, get obviously the walk-off win. So that's 6 straight for the Yankees, 7 straight series they've won, and they're only a half game behind the Rays and the Red Sox for the best record in the American League. I mean, you have to be impressed.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I mean, the Yankees are finally living
Barnes
up to
says
the
you
hype.
have to be impressed.
I do.
I know.
No,
I'm a
I
true baseball
do.
guy like Tony.
No, I am very impressed. I mean, the Yankees on paper, are always a favorite for the World Series, and finally they're playing like the team they should be playing.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously it's been led by the starting pitching. And yesterday, Tyone, I mean, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks, no decision, 80 pitches. I mean, obviously no earned runs here.
Right.
And I think it was like, I don't know. I would have tried to have him go one more. I mean, the bullpen ended up giving up runs. It just, I don't know. I just feel like, it's like almost like being scared in a way by pulling him after 80 pitches.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, his fastball did look fire, dude. He had great command of his fastball. I think the White Sox were maybe like, I don't know, after 2 strikeouts, I don't think with 2 strike at bats, like I don't think they came back from that. He had that, that kind of that fastball that just had the speed, he had a little late movement on it. But I will say, I mean, you never know what could happen with him, with him being inconsistent. So I don't hate taking him out, but I mean, it would have been nice.
I just feel like I've just been so ready for like 7 innings, 12 Ks.
Right.
It just obviously it hasn't happened, but it continues now. 35 straight scoreless innings from the starting pitching, tying the second longest streak in team history. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, you have to be shocked about this.
It's got to be tough for Mets fans, man. They had the best pitching staff in the New York coming into this, and now they don't. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys got to be thinking over there, but I mean, I'm also very happy that nobody leaned into a pitch to get hit by a pitch to walk in the final run. So that's pretty good too. Any comment? No, but this is This is about as good as the Yankees have looked all season, and it makes me just very happy that it makes me very happy that what?
Nothing, dude. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's all right.
It makes me very happy that they're doing it by way of pitching and by not home runs. So, for the most part, they're playing. They're playing baseball. They're the Yankees for years. I've said this 5 times in the last week. For years, they've been the team that hits home runs, and that's how they get all their home runs, and that's how they win games. And to see them win games like this and pull games out like this against good teams is, this is I can't be more excited right now about the Yankees.
Quick question,
Tony?
Gino. How else do you get home runs without hitting home runs?
Well, I mean, run.
What an idiot! God,
Idiot.
All right, Gino.
But no, you're definitely right, Gino. I mean, you need the pitching in the postseason. You need the situational hitting, and it's funny because a lot of people moaning and groaning about haven't scored enough runs. But recently, we've seen a lot of big hits late, driving guys in. And I think this series, they maybe only hit 2 home runs. I think Glaber and Mike Ford. And speaking of Glaber, I mean, he really did not look good. And then he goes on the COVID list. He's 11 for his last 18. He was 3 for 4 yesterday. I believe he was 3 for 4 on Saturday as well. He's been on fire, and it's just a welcome sign because he's an important part of this lineup.
I mean, it's great for my fantasy team because I have Glaber on my fantasy team. But other than that, he is. Again, we needed a guy who was going to be an all-around bat, and he's been that these last few games. And I mean, let's hope he keeps it going, man. Without Stanton right now, it's been, obviously Stanton was the guy at the beginning of the season. Now it's Torres. I mean, all you need is one of those guys to be able to drive in the runs, one or two of those guys to be able to drive in the runs. It looks like DJ's starting to pick things up a little bit. The hitting's been there, but if you're not, you can't say you're not shocked about the fact that the Yankees pitching has been as good as it's been. I mean, they have 5 straight starts now for the first time, I think, in franchise history where they've had starters go 5+ innings. And they had 4 straight starts for the first time in franchise history where they went 7 innings. Well, and this is against decent.
What are you talking about?
I was going to say, isn't that the craziest thing for you guys, you two Yankee fans, Gino and Barnes, because you guys are intense as Yankee fans coming into the season? Did you ever think that the pitching would be this good?
If you told me in May it would be this good, I would have told you to go take a walk. I would expect maybe by July, I'd be like, okay, maybe if we get the best we can out of guys who like Kluber or Tyone who needed to work things up. But not in May. Still very surprised, but definitely not in May.
No, it's just funny. For years and years, I've had conversations with many people just about how pitchers just can't excel on the Yankees. It just never happens. Roger Clemens' ERA was higher. Sonny Gray, was an all-star with Cincinnati, but when he was on the Yankees, they put him in the bullpen. His ERA was 6. We saw what happened with Carl Pavano. AJ Burnett would get lit up all the time, after that one good year. And it's it was just oh my God, here we go again. They make these additions, but really besides Cole, who can we count on? Tanaka's not there. And it's just all the questions have been answered up to this point. It's just
and in the last week, Cole has not been the best pitcher.
No,
Cole has been probably the 3rd best pitcher in the last week and a half. So
yeah, and it's just funny too. He wasn't on his game. I think he had 3 or 4 walks, but he goes 7 scoreless with 7 strikeouts, and that's not on his game, which is just crazy.
Exactly.
So just recapping the weekend. On Friday they did win 2-1. Monty 7 scoreless innings, striking out 11. Arguably his best start of the season. He had a really good one
to his career.
That race was pretty good though.
Talk about a bounce back performance though. We said it before the game on Friday. He needed a bounce back performance, and that was really, really good.
And then what an exciting game there. In the top of the 9th, they turn a triple play. Those are very rare in baseball, of course. And then Glaber walks it off. You can't beat that. So that was just really exciting. Saturday, they had it pretty much in hand. They win 7-0. Like I had mentioned, Glaber, 3 for 4 like he was yesterday, 4 RBIs. So, just really just a strong performance. And it's just we swept the Tigers, but of all the teams that we've played up to this point, the last team you would expect to sweep is probably the White Sox because, they lead their division. They're right up there with the best teams in the American League, and we really neutralized their high-powered offense.
Yeah, they had, like you said, the 5 runs, I think, through 3 games. So, that's it's the Yankees also, I think, have the most shutouts in the league right now as well in terms of pitching, So, it's been really, really good to see the defensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the game really coming together for the Yankees. And we'll see if it can continue. Like we said, it's an important stretch. The 3 teams in the AL East have the best records in the entire AL. There's no one else in the AL that has a better record. And looking at it now, there's only 2 teams that have 2 or 3 teams that have even close to an equal record, which are all in the NL West. So, it's going to be a battle. And then we got Toronto coming up. We got the Rays. We got the Red Sox. So these are going to be some important weeks coming up for the Yankees.
Yeah, and I'm just excited just because, like we've said, I mean, the offense, they scored less runs than we're more accustomed to, but I'm just more excited because I just feel like it's coming. I mean, we know Voit is going to be here. We know LeMahieu is going to hit for a lot higher average. Frazier's not going to be in the 170s. I mean, it's just like there's so much more that can be improved on, and then you combine that with pitching. I mean, that's the perfect recipe. So I think one thing here, we'll want to see is, because they're off today, they're going to start a 3-game set with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Not in Dunedin, thank God, because they struggled there earlier in the season.
I think it's Dunedin. Is it Dunedin or Dunedin?
No, it is.
Are you kidding me, Gino?
I have a cousin that lives there, so you think I would know?
I don't think he was on when we were talking.
But you must have watched, dude. Like, are you trying to make like a bad joke here, or like, are you serious?
No, genuinely, I have a cousin that lives in Dunedin, so I thought it was Dunedin.
Oh God! I guess you don't.
Where are they now? Where is Toronto playing their games?
No, they're still in Dunedin, but I was just saying this.
We were playing at home.
They didn't play well in Dunedin.
Just
overall, I mean, I don't know what it was, but last year I know their record against the Blue Jays wasn't good. So it's like you want to win, like we've talked about so many times, 2 out of 3. Especially at home here, and you got Kluber coming off a no-hitter. It's interesting to see how he pitches. So that's Tuesday. Still, Blue Jays up to this point, as far as I've seen, haven't announced starters of the series. So obviously that'll come out. But we have Kluber tomorrow, Herman on Wednesday, and Montgomery on Thursday. So I mean, those are obviously guys that have been all pitching well, and you want to see them, continue that against a Blue Jays team that's been hot lately.
That's true. However, dude, honestly, I've been following the Blue Jays a lot. I do have them picked to go to the World Series. They've been struggling in terms of pitching. I don't think Ryu has gone more than 6 innings. Matz has not gone more than 5.
Is Matt's ERA still like 6?
Yeah, dude, it's so
dominating to start the season.
I know, dude. I was like, fuck, she got rid of him. But anyway, dude, their starting rotation has struggled, and early in the season, they kind of went to their bullpen a lot, and we saw that, and their bullpen was awesome. However, it seems to not be sustainable because their bullpen now is riddled with injuries. We saw, I think Merriweather has missed significant time. David Phelps, Tyler Chatwood, and then Yates never got off the ground. So that was their big closer acquisition, right? So they're struggling in terms of their pitching. So I do not see why the Yankees could just put on a clinic against them. And then to boot, I mean, like we talked about, the Yankees pitching has been so dominant. I mean, I can't see why they can't, keep Toronto's hitters at bay. I mean, granted, they have good hitters, but the way Yankees have been, I'm going to call a sweep here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely. And
why you want to jinx it, Gino?
Could we get a little breaking news sound? Do we got that?
Shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say, there's some big breaking news.
Really?
A couple different things, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gino might have something different, but
oh boy,
I have like 2 different things.
The Blue Jays have announced Tuesday Steven Matz gets to start at the stadium.
Oh.
So he comes in 5-2 with a 4.69 ERA. Still nothing on Wednesday, but Thursday we have Robbie Ray. So it'll be the battle of the lefties against Jordan Montgomery. So we'll see who starts on Wednesday, but that gives us a little clearer picture on the pitching matchups. What do you have, Gino?
Yeah, so a couple things. Obviously, we talked about basketball and Mitchell not being in the lineup. Yeah, he's apparently incensed, as they use here at ESPN, at late decision to scratch him from the playoffs, or playoff opener. And then the other thing, Aaron Rodgers did not report to OTAs today.
Wow.
So obviously, it's not a surprise those are voluntary OTAs, but obviously not a great look with things that have been happening around the Packers. So there's your breaking news.
Anything on Schefter seeing Rodgers spotted in the Denver area looking for some homes or anything? I mean, that seems like the only place that he would go if there's even going to be a deal. But
I really want him to go to San Francisco as a neutral person because I think that team would be phenomenal with him. But I
just feel like all the work they put in to get Trey Lance and then just to trade him.
There's no way they're going to do that. So I think the draft secured that. But back to baseball.
Absolutely. So looking forward to this Blue Jays series. Nice to get a day off, get everyone rested, and then full go. And Stanton, there's a good chance he'll be activated tomorrow.
What's up?
Off the injured list, so that would be a nice boost to the lineup. And
definitely.
now switch over to the New York Mets, and I'm not even going to say anything. I just want you to just take it away, Tony.
I mean, dude, cut me some slack here. Kick a man when he's down, Gino. I mean, it's the injury bug. I don't know what else to say, dude. I mean, the Mets have been just riddled with injuries. I'm just going to go down the list right now. Right now, we have Alon,
down the list.
Conforto, Nimmo, Davis, Almora, of course, Pilar, DeGrom, Lugo, Carrasco, Walker, and Syndergaard all out.
Is your team not playing?
Yeah, Betances doesn't fucking matter.
Do you even have a team?
Dude, it's literally like the Syracuse Mets is who we're fielding right now. We're fielding a AAA team. Granted, like
It's such a Met thing.
dude, the Mets got, they were pretty lucky in terms of our bench, like for the most part we were doing well, but I mean, that wasn't necessarily sustainable. And on top of it, we just kept getting more injured and more injured. And it's clearly showing. I mean, our offense is nowhere to be found. Friday, we kind of squeaked by in extra innings. We won 6-5.
How about Lee with the
go-ahead double, dude. Love to see
First
it from
major
him.
league hit.
Yeah, dude, that's great. But I mean, other than that, I think he went 0 for 3 Saturday, 0 for 4 on Saturday, and then he went 0 for 2 on Sunday. So it's like
didn't exactly follow
it up exactly, right? So he had his big moment, but again, these are young players who don't have a lot of major league time, if at all. So I mean, it's going to be very hard to kind of string those consistent at bats together.
Right.
And then on top of it, with DeGrom and Walker being out, our pitching wasn't there as well. So it was literally like just a recipe for disaster. The only upside here is that we're still in first in the NL East. I think we're up 1.5 games on Atlanta. So we're pretty lucky in the sense that the rest of the NL East have kind of struggled as well. But I mean, dude, it's just – and just on top of it, I mentioned last week, I mean, especially with all these bench players in, we're going to need to get the regular stars that are in there, like Lindor, to get some good hits. And, Friday he went 2 for 5. He had 1 RBI, not bad. But, I mean, other than that, he was quiet. He was 1 for 3 the next day. 0 for 4 on Sunday. So it's like, dude, he needs to start hitting consistently. He's struggling getting over 200 batting average. Right. He'll hit 200, go back down to like 185, crawl back up to 200, and go back down. It's been so just like not good at all. And it's very worrisome, dude.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to think where they would be offensively if he was just even a little close
Literally,
to what
dude.
he should be doing. They'd be in a lot better shape on offense.
Absolutely. And, I mean, again, if you just a little bit better, like Saturday, they lost 3-1. I mean, 2 more runs, 1 more big hit, they could be in the game easily, Yeah. So it's just tough, dude. It's really tough to see right now. And obviously you hope DeGrom's coming back tomorrow. So you would hope, their pitching kind of, spikes up a little bit with him coming back. And, hopefully we can still get 2 runs a game, maybe.
But I mean, I guess the only thing I would say, just to put a positive spin on this, I mean, it seems like the injuries aren't really long-term other than maybe, Pilar, I mean, who knows his face and everything. Like the guys are going to be back. So it's just kind of, you have to tread water.
Yeah, he's just kind of tough it out. And it's a shame, actually. Nimmo was projected to be back for the Miami series.
Yeah.
But I guess like his thumb is still like, he still has pain on his swing. So they scratched him. And like I said, DeGrom's coming back. It seems like Syndergaard would be the next pitcher to come back, actually. So hopefully he comes back pretty hot and we can string along some hits. I mean, as these, AAA players are coming up, they are getting more experience, more at bats in the majors. So, we have the Rockies coming up who,
abysmal,
are very good. But I mean, even so, I mean, they average 4.6 runs per game. And we don't. So it's like, if they score 4 runs a game, I couldn't see us beating them. And they do have big hitters like Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan McMahon.
Yeah.
So they have like a, very
put runs up.
Reasonable, offense that can put runs up. So I think they lead. No, wait, they're tied for second in the league with RBI right now. So, what are you gonna say, Gino?
Yeah, what do you got?
No, I was gonna say on the Rockies, one of my favorite things about baseball is looking in May and seeing how far back certain teams are. And the Rockies and the Diamondbacks are already back 12 games, which is just crazy to me because we've only played like 40.
Yeah. And we didn't have to do much, obviously.
Yeah. But on the Mets, it's, injuries are part of baseball, yes, but not having your entire team injured. So, the fact that they're still in first place is good. If they can continue, if they can get all their players back and still have a lead in first place, that's a huge, huge thing for them. So, 4-6. I mean, again, with the injuries that they had, 4-6 in their last 10 is not terrible. So, hopefully they can pick it up and get some wins here against the Rockies. Their series coming up after that. They do have the Braves. They get the Diamondbacks, who have been awful. And then hopefully by the Padres series, they can get some of these guys back in early June and maybe go on a little run here, because they got to play the Padres 7 times in 9 games. So, that'll be very important for them. But, it's hard to judge the Mets and look at the Mets without
their starters.
Their starters. Yeah. It's, when you have that many injuries, you're not just looking at, like, again, going back to the Yankees, you're not just looking at a Stanton being injured or a Voit being injured. You're looking at the entire lineup and a lot of pitchers being injured. So it's hard to judge a team that is, like you said, Tony, playing with their AAA team.
Right.
And I think you would agree, too, as painful as it's been and just not fun to watch. I mean, all things considered, I mean, you're probably at the best spot you could be, leading a division, being over 500.
No, exactly.
No long-term injuries.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, there definitely is an upside, but right now.
Oh, it's just a terrible time. It's like what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
You're accept. Actually, it's still in a better spot. So. After starting 6-11, but and I mean, is it just obviously? I mean, really, bare minimum here is 2 out of 3 coming off losing 2 out of 3 over the weekend.
And dude, it's a shame too, because I mean, I feel like at least Sunday, dude. Like, I feel like we could have won that game. Sorry, not Sunday, Saturday. We talked about Lucchesi having a phenomenal outing. He had 4 innings, only gave up 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. And for some reason, Rojas decides to put in Reed Foley. I think Lucchesi was at like 45 pitches, 46 pitches. Like, it's just like as if to add like insult to injury at that point. It's just a bad managerial decision.
No, it's just like he's just like he looks so bad. Now that he looks good, let's get him out of there,
dude. He just said like, oh well, we went into that game with a game plan. Lucchesi just 4 innings. And you know what? Like, I get it. Lucchesi, a little bit of a wild card. It's been pretty bad. And it's good to go into a game with a game plan, obviously. But it's like, dude, like at that point, dude, like just put it like another inning at least. Yeah. Like, 46 pitches, dude. Like, come on, bro. And then, of course, Reed Foley gets in there, gives up a run. It's just tough, dude. We lose 3-1, right? So, you never know, dude. Like,
but hey. Gotta leave that in the past.
Yeah, you do at that point, dude.
7-10. They haven't announced a starter. I mean, is it another bullpen game?
It seems like, I don't know, there was rumors that Peterson might start.
Oh, okay. Is it on regular or short?
Short rest. So you never know. It might be a bullpen game. I mean, So I guess we kind of see. Looks like they're going to be going up against Austin Gomber, who apparently this past month he's been doing pretty well. He's 1-1. He had a 3.2 ERA, and he has a 2.27 batting average against him. So, I mean, this month he picked it up, but I mean, his start of the season hasn't.
So you're saying the Rockies are looking to trade him? Because
definitely. Because he's doing so well. Let's get him out of there, dude.
And I think this is a case. I mean, we see this a lot in the National League. I mean, the Mets here just got to manufacture runs, small balls, hit and run. I mean, that's how you're going to win these games.
Yeah, dude.
The big bats
get men on base, maybe steal a couple bases. Villar is great at stealing bases. You see his speed, and hopefully we can bring him in.
And I'm making a prediction here. I just think sometimes just trends are due to be bucked. I think Lindor has a big series here. Multiple home runs and hits over 300. I mean, if not now, when?
When, exactly, dude. So I would love to see that.
Yeah. So we will see what happens. Yeah. And, we'll obviously talk, more about the game, recapping it tomorrow. And
I'd also like to see how Nito does as well. Yeah. He's been doing very well.
A bright spot.
Yeah, for sure. Behind the plate as well as at the plate, batting too. He's definitely batting better than McCann has been all season. So. And you love some competition behind the plate, as Yankee fans do know. So
yeah, absolutely. And so we'll see. And then just switching gears here, what a weekend and a day yesterday at the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island in South Carolina. Phil Mickelson, almost 51 years old, shocks the world, wins the PGA Championship at 6 under par, defeating a 4-time major champion and 2-time PGA champion Brooks Koepka by 2 shots. And it was really just surprised me. I mean, I think going into the round, I want to say he was only 1 shot up on Koepka. So Koepka, a guy who's, 20 years younger at this point, has won on the big stage before. I was thinking, oh my God, Phil is just going to completely collapse.
Right.
We've seen him do that as he gets older, but no, he just hangs in there the whole time. On hole number 5, he chipped it in from the sand, recovered from bad shots. I mean, it was just such a scene too. I mean, definitely probably over max capacity. All the fans on the fairway going down 18, and they even showed it on TV. They were so excited. They almost like tackled Mickelson. I mean, it was like, what a scene, honestly. And, just got to give it to, I mean, how many athletes can excel at 50 plus years old? I mean, these days in any sport.
I was just saying, you really couldn't think of any, dude.
I mean,
crazy.
You caught a little bit of it, Gino. I mean, weren't you just stunned in a way?
Yeah, I mean, the scene was awesome, man. I mean, you watch it, and you watch that chip go in out of the sand on what I don't even know what hole it was, but the crowd went nuts, and you love scenes like that, and you love to see guys like this. It's eerily similar to when Tiger did it at the Masters, and you remember that crowd, and again, it's just fans, man. It's great to have fans back. Maybe trying to tackle Mickelson was a little bit too much. I know Koepka was a little. Yeah, Koepka was a little upset about the fans being a little bit too close to him in some instances, which I guess I can understand as well. So maybe a little better job by the security team there, but yeah, it was crazy. The scene was amazing, and just for Mickelson to get that win was awesome. So.
Oh yeah, one that goes down in the books.
You just wish it was the U.S. Open, though.
Yeah, but he'll get a chance
US Open.
Next month at Torrey Pines. That should be fun. And it was funny, he had actually taken an exemption to get into that because he wasn't going to qualify. But now, after this win, he's in every major for the next 5 years. So, I mean, he could really keep going for a while here. And it'll just be interesting to see. And I think, not that he wasn't already motivated, but I think this is going to drive Tiger and his recovery even more.
I said that yesterday.
To join Phil and
dude.
play the Masters.
I agree, bro.
I guarantee it.
And you know what's funny? Tony and I reluctantly at the same time we're listening to Greeny's show this morning.
Reluctantly?
Yeah.
Why is that
So
reluctant?
you could just shut up, dude. Why do you have to talk about
the things you say are stupid?
You're not going to be on camera for the rest of the show.
That's totally fine, dude. Yeah, be my mic too while you're at it, bro. It doesn't even matter, dude. I can still hear myself, actually.
Wait. There we go.
How about now? No, I can still hear myself.
Hold on.
You're using the wrong mic. Now I can hear myself. But I'm still on Barnes' mic, bro. What are you going to do?
All right. So anyway, Greeny in 2017 did a walk around thing with Phil for the women's PGA. They were promoting it in the streets, just walk around taking photos, giving free tickets out. And Greeny asked him something. I forgot what the question was, but Phil goes to him. Oh, because for Greeny's Get Up show, he had an idea. Yep. He had an idea where he was going to have a professional legend from each sport come in 12 episodes a year and talk about the sport, and what's going on. And one of them was going to be Phil. So he asked Phil, and he was like, keep me in mind, but it seems like the question you're asking is for retired players, and I'm far from retired. That's what he said to him in 2017.
Yeah.
So it's dope. I'm glad he won.
Yeah.
I bet 200 on him. I won 50K.
We should have bet 1,000 on him, dude.
Yeah, it was either 300 or 500.
It was 3. It was
300 to 1. I mean, what a story. And
Barnes is upset he didn't bet on it.
No. But hey, I mean, just congrats to Phil, and looking forward to the U.S. Open, next month at Torrey Pines. That should be a great scene, and it'd just be funny to see, can he, just compete in some more of these majors, and the way he played, the shape he's in. I mean, you look at him 5 years ago. I mean, he looks so much better than he did then. I mean, he's ripped for someone who's over 50 years old. So props to him. And like I said, we'll look forward to watching him. He's supposed to be in the field this week, actually, at Colonial. But I have a feeling after this win, he's going to take some time off. I mean, usually you see that with these major champions. So, it was really an exciting weekend and really a great show today. We covered a lot. Gino,
I got one more. I got a couple more things. Well, we talked about the Monaco Grand Prix on Friday. Max Verstappen won. Charles Leclerc was on pole after qualifying, but he couldn't start. So some craziness there. But Max Verstappen won, so Red Bull now lead the Drivers and Constructors Cup. But we have some more breaking news.
Holy shit. Who is this guy?
I'm just getting this now. Shannon Sharp called Julio Jones live on Undisputed today. And Julio Jones said he's out of there when asked if he wants to stay in Atlanta. And he also said he doesn't want to go to the Cowboys. I want to win. This was on today's Undisputed.
Wow. And I heard he wants to go to the Patriots. I heard that.
Yes, that is the word. I was hoping he would want to go to the Titans, but I guess
go to the Patriots. But,
come to the Jets, baby.
Yeah, come to the Jets. But
he wants to win, Mike. He wants to win.
We got plenty of weapons, so we will see. Any other breaking news?
Nope, that's it. That's it for today. That's it for all my sources. I've exhausted my sources for today.
All right.
Man.
But great episode, fellas, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. As always, keep commenting, liking, subscribing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.